Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Lupin the third part 6 episode number 12 reaction. Alright, so the previous episode we start investigating about Faulkner's death. Holmes, he has started getting more information on it. So is Lupin, and obviously the main clue is the poster, the two half of the posters, and little by little we get to realize that the poster was actually a decoy. So the poster being the decoy, the only thing that is related to the poster which might have a clue in it is the poster's picture frame and Faulkner's room. So Holmes gets in and confronts Lupin over there. All the everyone is over there. Lily comes here, and when everyone is gathered there, Lupin and Holmes deduce that there's something to do with the room and the poster frame. So there was another little clue that they were kind of thinking about is the reason why Faulkner always came in different timings. You came here different timings because it was related to the sunlight. Summers have bigger times of daytime, lesser nighttime, that type of thing. So that is why whenever it was light outside, he used to kind of keep the place dark. Why did he need to keep the place dark? Because they kind of demonstrated, it takes out the curtains and the light falls down, the whole room changes color, and a secret portal kind of opens. At the same time, an explosion happens over there, so we don't know what happened over there. Zenigata somehow was able to come out, and yeah, while Fujiko is on her way tailing Albert, who's also here. So all the players are here in this place. So all that is left is to probably get to the secret and yeah, see what's going on. Where's the Raven's treasure and all that stuff. So yeah, let us start. This is episode number 12. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, here we go. Oh. Right, where's Lupin? Oh my god. Damn. Damn, the whole building crumbled. Yeah, well, I don't think so. Hmm. Yeah. Hey, yo. Wow. It would have been funnier if when Holmes was saying oh, he's probably in a disguise and is trolling as an onlooker, and looked at him and be like, am I correct, Lupin? That would have been funnier. Oh boy. uh hmm. Hmm. The Ghosts of Britain. All right. Oh, is that Albert? Yep. Hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Like he was, yeah, he was being used, I guess you could say. True. Hmm. Oh, wow. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh boy. Yep. Physical was following him. Damn. Just whipped out a gun in the middle of a park. Oh boy. Oh, already taken care of. Goemon is here. And Jigen. Yeah, you're trying to apprehend Rupan? Hmm. Oh, he found something. Okay. Oh, personal. Yeah. Alright, those, there they are. Someone inside the raven gave an unknown message. Knowing full well that they would fail. Oh, it becomes an. Oh. Oh, it has something to. Yeah. They're taken, all the belongings are. Yeah, and. Ah! Yeah, okay. Alright. To serve as a watchdog. Okay. And is that why they blew up the place? To. Okay, so this guy is related to the. Okay. Damn. I love how Yata actually became like, and the more he spends time with Zenigata, he's becoming like him. Yeah. Eh, you know what? Alright. His Rupan sensing skills. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep, he also deduced that. True. That is true. New Scotland Yard. Uh, uh, uh. Oh, who was that? Okay, who is this? Show the face. Is this? Is this? I feel like this is Esther, right? I'm too suspicious of that guy. Oh no, it's that guy. Okay, never mind. Yep, it's him. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They knew that he's keeping tabs on them. All right, I'm so like suspicious about Lester, right? Okay, now at this point, I feel like he's not really in this whole thing. Like I was just, it was just my mistake. Oh my god! Oh, that's a tear gas. Okay, I thought it was a grenade or something. Yeah, yeah. Huh. What the? Oh, is that Rupan? Yep. He's just waiting there. Well. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it was this guy. Okay. All of the other murders happened after. Oh, say. Ah! Zenigata's here. Wait. Oh my god, is this Fujiko's plan? Ah! Well, should have expected this. Yatagarasu. Wait, where's Jigen and Goemon? Damn! My gun is gone. Ah, Baritsu! Here we go. But damn! Oh my god, yeah, he knows his Baritsu, so I feel like in close combat, Rupan cannot really. What the? What happened? Okay, I feel like it's like a fake bullet or something. I don't know. He's not bleeding, guys. I'm sure he's fine. What's happening? Oh my god, I was correct. I was correct actually. I said this from the beginning that this guy was the one. All right, I was correct all along. Oh, this is all a part of the play to make Lily remember. Oh my god, so Rupan was in on this. There you go. I was correct all along. Thank God. I thought I made a mistake. So all of this was for Lily to remember. Well, there's a lot of. Ah, I see. Ah, makes sense. Nice. And he was too suspicious. Like, what the? Yeah. Well, yeah, it must be. Oh my god. It's a. Oh. I see. Ah. Ah. So they were just like. They were just using this as a. Like, like a threat. Hmm. I see. Hmm. Fringe members. Wow, that's kind of. Yeah, okay, I'll talk about this in the discussion section. When he confronted Watson, you saw how surprised he was. That kind of bothered me. I was like, that definitely means Watson knows this other person. So immediately I was like, it must be Lesterite. Otherwise, why would he react like this? And yeah, it turns out I was correct. Like, he definitely didn't want to kill Watson, but he had to. Oh, he's going to just jump down. Oh boy. Damn! It detonated underwater. Like if you jumped into the water and then it did. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, he did cooperate with them. Oh, wait. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, because his oh, he thought it was Holmes. Oh boy. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'll get enough opportunities in the future. It's fine this time. Okay, wait, it seemed. I feel like there's something in the after credits scene. That seemed quite quick. Wow, so there you go. I was correct all along. It was that straight. For a moment, I was like, when they were like, oh, it's Elliot, I'm like, oh, okay, so that sucks. I was wrong. But then there you go. Because like I said, one of the biggest hints was definitely when Lestrade, with his disguise or whatever, came in front of Watson. The way he got surprised. This is one of the biggest hints that yeah, he is someone who knows Watson personally. And yeah, obviously it's not Holmes. So then who is it? Lestrade. Lestrade is the only one who kind of knew both Lily and Holmes. Also, the fact that it must be someone from inside the police department, because the whole Faulkner's death, when they bombed the place, nobody knew, nobody realized what happened. Like nobody had any clue that someone infiltrated the whole thing. So unless it is someone who is from the inside of the police department does that, it's impossible. It's a police department. You cannot really just stroll in. So it must be someone who's who's involved with the police. There you go. There's an after credit scene. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait, who? Oh my god! What the? What? Holmes! Be careful! Be careful! Ah. Oh my god, Moriarty's here. Yo. Wait, is he working with Lupin? That's crazy. Obviously, Professor. Oh god. Oh no, he's not working with Lupin. Damn. James Moriarty. Oh, acquaintance. Oh, it's a treasure map? Oh, okay, that'll help. Ah! Well. Oh, wait, so are they going back? Or will we get to see more of Moriarty? Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm guessing in the next episode it'll probably be a little bit of a break from the whole Holmes situation. So I'm quite curious. Like they showed Moriarty, So are we going to go deeper into the whole Holmes thing in the future? Like, are we going to get more episodes with them? Because why, otherwise, why would they suddenly introduce James Moriarty here? Like, yeah, doesn't make sense. Why would they do this suddenly? But damn, when he introduced himself, I'm like, wow, this is Moriarty. Good God. Uh, all right. So this episode, we begin with the whole like explosion that happened. Like Holmes, Lily were able to come out, and like Lily is like, oh, like, do you think Lupin is alive? And Lily knows, obviously Lily knows that it wasn't Lupin who killed Watson. So she's like, but I mistook him for my dad's killer. And Holmes is like, it's fine, like he's not the type of person who would just die from a measly explosion like this. And like, just I'm pretty sure he's just probably in one of the, like, like the people here in one of the onlookers, taking a disguise and just walking past us. And Lupin was just there, like, heard them. And okay, so next we get to see Albert is here, and Albert like starts talking to Lupin. Lupin comes and sits down, and yeah, Lupin is like, so the whole the thing, the poster wasn't really like a bait. It was basically like a trap. So anyone who tries to get their hands on the treasure is just going to get blown up. And so a few things, like, Albert asks like, how did Faulkner fit in all of this? What the hell was he? And Lupin is like, he was just a watchdog. Makes sense. He wasn't really like he thought that he was one of the most important people. He was just being used for keeping an eye on everything, and just in case, if something happened, the whole place would just blow up. And like the upper, like, echelons, they don't care if Faulkner lives or dies. So Lupin says that Raven has become so fragmented that any ties to the members are flimsy, which totally obscures its activity. And okay, so alright, so Albert is like, I have no doubt that you can ferret out Raven's treasure. How about work together? And Lupin's like, nope, I'm not doing that. And he says, I'm going to give a pretty generous offer. My country has a heavily vested interest in the Raven. Meanwhile, England is desperately trying to keep all of this buried out of the public eye. A thief like you is sure to have trouble dealing with two world's greatest powers alone. And Lupin got offended at this. Lupin is like, yeah, is that so? And he's like, let me tell you something. I hate this the most about you. The snide and condescending attitude of yours. And he tries to like stop Lupin. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you get away. Tries to pull out the gun, but in comes Fujiko. But Fujiko was following them with her gun, and she's like, yep, don't you dare move, Albert. And not this time. This time the treasure is ours. And then leaves off with Lupin. Now, alright, Elliot, we get to see Elliot is also over there keeping an eye on everything. Tells his, like, I just love how this whole episode just completely, Elliot, I think that's his name, he was made a fool out of. This part where, his men were just, like, defeated by Jigen and Goemon in a matter of seconds. And then the next part where he just unsuspectedly fell into the whole trap, went there and got completely defeated by Lupin and his crew. Like, both of the sections, he just got completely destroyed. Like, that's funny. But anyways, next we see Holmes is in his room trying to figure out what's going on, and you can see that this lady, I forgot her name, she's like, oh, should we bring some tea for him? And Lily's like, no, like, let Mr. Holmes think about it. And then Holmes is like, I got it. And he looks at everything, then sees the picture of the ring, and immediately goes to Lestrade, and he's like, oh, his belongings, bring it to me. So, okay, so he looks at the belongings, and he says, now this part I need to read because there's a few things that kind of went over my head here. He says, do you know why the French DCPJ started focusing their attention on Faulkner in the first place? I heard it was because someone inside the Raven gave an anonymous tip. Well, I finally pieced together what motivated them to do that. The mastermind behind all of this intentionally compelled the French to make a move, knowing full well that they would fail. Alright, so, okay, interesting. But how? They knew I would be called in to assist with the investigation. Alright, so they basically did this deliberately so that the French, like the authorities comes in. Like obviously Albert is here, and they try to take like control of the situation, and they fail because Holmes comes out. Like this was part of Raven's plan. Okay, so next he says the culprit's target was always Faulkner himself. When a spy from another country is caught impersonating a citizen, it becomes an international incident. That left the authorities with little choice but to have Faulkner come in for questioning. Okay. Although Faulkner led a mostly unassuming lifestyle, telling of the suits, everything was classy. But there was one thing that was kind of odd, is that the ring. And yeah, it was made of cheap glass, and why did he always wear it when all of his other dresses were very expensive and all? So Holmes says that is exactly why. What happens when they enter the interrogation room? Obviously, they're stripped of their possessions, and it's taken away from them. That is what the culprit wanted. The culprit's goal was to have Faulkner get interrogated, force him to remove the accessories he would normally be wearing. One of Faulkner's duty was to serve as the watchdog of the Black Drawing Room, while the other was to guard Raven's treasure. Culprit wanted to take the key to its hidden location from among its belongings so that they could claim the treasure for himself. So yeah, the ring is the key. So that is like the actual thing. Like, up until now we were just on a wild goose chase. Like at first we thought the key must be the poster, then we thought it must be the whole the room and the photo frame. Turned out that was also a dud. It was actually an explosive, a trap for them. So now we have the actual key, which is the ring. So Faulkner was never seen without it on. That's why the culprit leaked information about him to France with the ultimate goal of making him enter Scotland Yard's interrogation room and then killed Faulkner while he was deprived of the ring to make sure he wouldn't spill any secrets. While all of this, Elliot is just listening to all of this. And like I said, this is so funny because he thought that he was very slick. Turns out Holmes and everyone knew what they were doing, and this was actually a deliberate trap made for him. Holmes knew that they are being taped, they're being looked at from the CCTV camera. He knew that, and he laid a trap for Elliot. I would like to say a double-layered trap. One for Elliot, one for Lestrade. All was part of the plan. It's so funny because Lestrade thought that he knew what was going on. Lestrade knew about the trap which was led for Elliot. But Lestrade did not know that was one layer of the trap. The trap was two-layered. Another layer was for him. So he cooperated in the trap that would actually get him in the future. That's funny. Alright, next we get to see Zenigata saying, HQ has temporarily called off this whole thing. We're supposed to go back to Japan. And he's like, Yata, don't throw your future away for this. You go. But Yata's like, nope, I'm not leaving. And this is quite funny. Like I said, I just love how Yata's oh, this makes no sense. We already know for a fact that Lupin's crew is hiding in the city. So, you can see how he just wants to capture Lupin as well. I remember when he was introduced, he was just like, why are you going this far for Lupin? To Zenigata. But now he's like, oh, we need to catch Lupin. We're so close. Zenigata's influence has gone on to him so much that he also wants to catch Lupin. Not necessarily, he doesn't really want to catch Lupin, he just wants to help Zenigata, that's it. But still, if you think about it like that, in a weird way, that would mean that he has to catch Lupin if he wants to help Zenigata out. So he's focused now. And okay, so Zenigata's alright, what we do now is we go forward towards the bridge. And my Rupan sensing skills is telling me something is going to happen. And Yata's like, oh really? And he's like, trust me on this. Immediately, Fujiko comes in, knocking on the window. Okay. So now that now that we know everything, this was part of the plan. This was another, not I would say trap, but this was like a little play that Rupan and Fujiko had already decided on to lower down Lestrade's guard, Lestrade and Elliot's guard, the whole thing. So this was also part of the plan, which obviously Zenigata did not know. Zenigata just thought that Fujiko has betrayed Rupan once again, but this wasn't a betrayal. This was part of the plan. The betrayal was part of the plan. So. Alright, next we get to see that Rupan is taking everything, and he leaves the hideout, and Goemon is like, come on, let's go quickly, otherwise they'll get the treasure. And Rupan's like, it's fine. That the one who laugh in the end is the one who has the treasure in the end. So yeah, let them take it. I'll just snatch it back from them. Which is true. And alright, next we get to see that they go to that place. Obviously Elliot knows where they're supposed to go because he saw the tape. So he goes there, uses the ring, on that little thing, and it makes a way inside underground. And he goes in, and he's looking at the place with the torchlight and smiling. And then in comes Sherlock Holmes, Lily, and Lestrade. And he's like, put your hands up. And yeah. So there you go. He tries to run away, uses tear gas or smoke gas. Excuse me. And the funny thing, if you think about it, now that we know everything was part of the plan here. So here you can see that Holmes is like, oh, I'm sorry that I brought you here, but he's trying to run away. The gas is there, Lestrade is there, and Holmes is acting as if he's in a troublesome situation. In comes Rupan, at which Holmes shows shows surprise. He's like, oh, Rupan, you're here. Yeah, all of this was part of the plan. Obviously he knew that Rupan would come here because this was part of the plan. The part of the plan was to make a double-layered trap, one for Elliot and another one for Lestrade. Lestrade doesn't know. Lestrade thinks everything is happening normally, and he knows about everything, all the plan he knows about. But he doesn't know that there's part of the plan that he doesn't know, which is actually to trap him. So he deliberately came in to help out in the trap that which actually make him fall. So obviously Lily also doesn't know what's going on, because Lily needs to realize who it is from by herself. To make that possible, Lestrade, Holmes and Rupan decided to make this whole play. So Rupan is there, and this part is so funny because I was like, wait, so is it not Lestrade? And here he says, Holmes says 10 years ago this scumbag here killed Horatio and then shot Watson for stumbling across the scene. And I was like, oh my god, I was wrong. And I was like, oh my god. Now I started feeling bad for Lestrade. I was like, I was like, oh, I have I've suspected this guy from the the second episode of this show, I think, when we got to see the scene of Watson dying. From that scene onwards, I suspected Lestrade. So I was really feeling bad. I was like, oh my god, I just suspected this innocent dude who just really had nothing to do with it. I remember every episode I used to comment about how I think Lestrade is suspicious. I really felt bad at this point. I was like, I was just blaming an innocent man for the couple of episodes, and I was completely wrong. So yeah, there you go. Obviously this was part of the play, so Holmes says all of the other murders that happened after the French DCPG became involved were also committed by Elliot. Okay, so he had access to the top secret documents, then detailed information about the Raven. He was also present at Scotland Yard at the time of Faulkner's assassination. Okay, anyways, Lupin's like, alright, time to get out, I'm going to get the treasure. But in comes Fujiko with Zenigata. Now this part, everyone thought that Fujiko has betrayed them. Once again, obviously, this is Fujiko we are talking about. This is her style, and whenever we're close to getting the treasure, bam, betrayal. Tries to get the treasure for herself, sometimes succeeds, sometimes doesn't, sometimes loses everything. So that is basically Fujiko. So everyone's like, yeah, that's basically that's what's happening. But we didn't know that this was also part of the plan. Lupin had made this plan and told Fujiko to actually make it seem as if she betrayed them, to make the situation more suitable for Holmes to get hit and fall down, and then at least make kind of recreate that scene so that Lily can realize who it is, and realize that it is Lester, because they recreated that scene. That's why Holmes was like this and fell down, and Lily came rushing. So they recreated the scene so that Lily can remember what's going on. And that was all part of the plan. So obviously Zenigata doesn't know about it. Zenigata's like, I got you, Lupin. And so the whole battle starts happening. Yata carries Elliot off in a safe space. Zenigata starts shooting. Lupin starts shooting. Holmes starts shooting. And you can see Holmes just jumps in and uses his baritsu to get Zenigata, because obviously if Zenigata keeps fighting with Lupin, then this will defeat the whole purpose of the plan. He needs to make the situation such that Lupin shoots him and he acts that he got hit and he falls down. He needs to recreate that scene. And that's why Zenigata should not keep fighting with Lupin. So he goes in, defeats Zenigata using his baritsu, and he's like, oh, I'm going to take care of Lupin. There you go, Zenigata's out of the picture. So he and Lupin starts having the battle, and he tries to attack Lupin with the baritsu. Now this part, I'm obviously sure that Lupin probably had like a false bullet or something, or maybe it was empty. The chamber was empty, and he just shot an empty chamber. So something, it must be something, or maybe Holmes had a bulletproof vest on it. Something must have been going on. So Lupin shoots Holmes. Holmes gets acts as if he gets shot, and he falls down. Immediately, Lily runs in and Lily's like, oh, Holmes, are you okay? And obviously this type of situation, Lestrade also comes rushing in and crouches, tries to look at Holmes, and he's like, oh, don't die, Holmes, hang in there. Lily looks up, the exact scene what happened. If you remember when Holmes Watson died, the criminal was actually, I think he was kind of just, I think, crouching or something like that was going on. So that is the exact scene. The whole situation, the little dim light that was over there, that little light, everything was the same. Oh no, sorry, never mind, I'm making a mistake. Lily remembered the day where, okay, no, she didn't remember the crime scene. What she remembered was before that, when she was in the car, she was in the car and was speaking outside. Yeah, that is what she remembered. That was Lestrade, because Lestrade was crouching at that moment and looks up. So yeah, sorry, I made a mistake, because in the crime scene it was Lupin over there. Lupin was there in the crime scene in front of Watson. It wasn't Lestrade when Lily came in. What Lily saw was outside in the car. She saw Lestrade. So she remembers that scene exactly, with the dim light and everything. She's like, oh, it was you. And she's like, it was you, wasn't it? You were the one who Daddy saw. On that night 10 years ago, Daddy left the car to go after you. He knew you should have been busy working at Scotland Yard and wanted to know what you were doing out there. Yeah. Okay, and obviously then Holmes wakes up, grabs him, and he's like, yeah, there you go, it was you. And I was like, there you go, I was correct. So yeah, I wasn't feeling bad anymore. I was actually feeling bad because I thought I forcefully blamed this dude who had nothing to do with anything. But then yeah, it turns out he was actually the criminal. So Elliot was also a pawn in this whole thing. So yeah, Holmes gets up, and Holmes is like someone with connections needed to get information to the Raven, someone who was present at the Scotland Yard when Faulkner was killed. While it's true these conditions apply to Elliot, or they also apply to you, Lestrade. So there you go. Everything was part of the plan. Fujiko's tricking Zenigata was part of the plan. Holmes and Lupin made like a double layered trap to trap them and make the scene similar to that day, so that Lily realizes what's going on, and then get Lesterate. So now, like I said, there was a lot of things that kind of tipped me off that it was Lesterate. The biggest one was, like I said, when on the day when when in the flashback that we were seeing, Watson died. That day, Watson, when he was shot, we saw that the person who killed him was shot. Why would that happen? Because this person might know Watson. That is the only reason why that person would be shot. And another reason would be that this person didn't want to kill Watson, and while they were struggling, he got shot. So yeah, who is the person who falls in that category? Someone who Watson knows. Who is the person that Watson knows is involved in this whole case? It's Lesterate. Lesterate is the only one. Like, that was the biggest giveaway from the beginning. The day when I saw the flashback, I realized it must be Lesterate. Either he's involved in this, or he's he's the killer. Either of it. Another thing, like I said, in the whole Faulkner bombing incident, there was someone from the inside who did this, from the inside the police station. So yeah, Lestrade again falls in that category. There was another thing I remember where Lestrade was talking to Lily, continuously asking about Holmes and asking about the whole situation, trying to gain more information from Lily. He kept, very suspiciously, he kept asking Lily about a lot of things, which kind of made me like, okay, that's kind of weird. Why is he acting like this? Again, it was because Lestrade was the main criminal, and there's a few more other things that made me think that it must be Lestrade. So there you go, it is Lestrade. So alright, so Lestrade is when did you realize? Holmes gives a better reasoning and a better I guess you could say proof for this, how he realized. His proof was something that I didn't realize, at least I didn't know or paid attention to. Holmes says that Lily was wearing a yellow scarf on the night 10 years ago, which unfortunately you shouldn't know about. But you knew about it. That would mean that you were there at that moment, and there you go. That was why it was you, which makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but there you go. We have hard proof that it is him. So Lestrade talks about what he wants to do. He takes out the time bombs, or the bombs, and he's like, oh, I had this with me, and he's like, I'm going to get the treasure. I'll finally be free from having my life controlled by the underworld. You can see that he was trying to do this desperately, tried to get out of this whole mess, and he definitely didn't want to kill Watson. It was I guess you could say it was an accident if you think about it. He definitely didn't want to kill Watson. It just got shot, and that's why he got so surprised, and his guilt is probably getting to him from that day onwards. So yeah, he's like, I want to get out of this whole mess. With this treasure, Raven will fall under my command. But Lupin's like, okay, calm down. Before you blow us all up, let us just see what the treasure is about. And opens the thing and sees a huge thing, that thing, as he calls it, unexploded ordnance. So basically, he says that back during World War II, London suffered through some intensive bombing raids, which left a large number of unexploded ordnances behind it. A group of lowlifes took advantage of them and salvaged them, found ways to rearm them, create their own secret stockpile. Established an organization known as the Raven, seized control of the vast underground tunnels and air raid shelters, made it possible for them to haul the bombs anywhere in London that they wanted. They threatened to detonate the bombs set placed under England's most crucial facilities, allowing them to start working from the shadows. That's why it made them so powerful. But Jigen says that yet, not a single one of them is usable anymore. Exterior coating is faded, fuses are short, more possibility that they could explode. So basically what they've been doing is that they have been just using this as a fear to control everyone, the whole British government. However, there's a small chance that it would have exploded. But obviously, the government didn't want to take that risk. Makes sense, And yeah, the Raven's incredibly fragmented organization Although it worked as a strength in some ways, it also weakened it in some ways. The group fell apart, ceased to exist since the 90s. Once the chain of command broke down, nobody bothered to ensure the bombs were kept in good condition. However, Horatio and Faulkner and other fringe members like yourself were never informed of that. So there you go. That was the whole thing. And and he's like, oh, but I killed Watson just because of this. What did I do all of that for? And he starts running away, goes to the roof, and he's like I'm sorry, Holmes. Like, tell Lily that I'm sorry for killing Watson. And he just jumps off into the water, blows himself up, and there you go. Now you can see that Holmes obviously asks a question. He's like, Lupin, why did you help us out so much? Like, why? What was it in for you? Like, this was the whole thing was like related to Lily. So why did you help us out? So obviously he says like it was because Watson told me to. And when Watson died, he saw Lupin and thought it was Sherlock Holmes. So he said like, Holmes, please take care of Lily. So obviously it's something that Lupin heard of. Lupin's like, that is why I just wanted to keep the word, But obviously I'm not the one who's going to protect Lily from here onwards. It is you. So yeah, there you go. And in the end, Holmes is like, all right, you got me this time, Lupin. So I love how the next we get to see Lupin goes off with Fujiko, and and Lily's like, Mr. Zenigata, you don't need to go with get him. Zenigata's like, it's fine this time, and starts laughing. It's so funny that I feel like it's so rare to see like Fujiko in this season hasn't betrayed Lupin at least once. Not even once. I think she has betrayed Lupin. That's so weird. Isn't it? Or did she betray him? I don't even remember. But I don't remember anything that where she betrayed Lupin. Like, it's so weird that she hasn't betrayed Lupin still. But I guess this was part of the whole big package. The whole job that they did was part of a big package. So she had to cooperate in this situation at least. And Holmes is like, goodbye, Lupin. See you later. And he's like, yeah, screw you. I ain't coming anywhere near you from this point onwards. And he leaves. And then in the after credit scene, like all the media is asking Holmes for everything. And in the end, yeah, they're like, oh, are you going to come back to the whole thing, Mr. Holmes? Are you going to be become do all the jobs and take more cases from here onwards? And he's like, interpret it however you like. We'll see. In comes this boy who's like, oh, hello, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Lily recognizes him from Baker Street. He's like, my name is Moriarty. And I'm like, oh my god, great. That is fantastic. Wait, why is Moriarty so young? I think, wasn't Moriarty and Holmes of the same age? I think so. I feel like Moriarty was probably older than Holmes. I'm not exactly sure. But he's like a little kid here. It's weird. Not little, I would say. He's probably older than Lily. But he's still a teenager. And he's like, yeah, my name is James Moriarty. And he's like, a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Moriarty. Feel free to reach out if you ever need help. And he's like, come, game is afoot, Watson. Let's find ourselves a taxi. Obviously, Lily was like, wait, you call me Watson? Obviously, she's happy about that. And then Moriarty goes off, and I'm like, wait a minute, is Moriarty working with Lupin or something? But then we realize from the conversation that it's not technically he's working with him. He's like long time, Lupin. And then he's like, don't get in my way, Lupin. And Lupin's like, yeah, sure, why not? Obviously, but you do what you think is the best. But stay on your toes. Sherlock Holmes is no pushover. And they're like, oh, who is this kid? And Lupin's like, just an old acquaintance. And yeah. Later on, we see Fujiko got the map, and she's like, oh, you see this, Lupin? This shows all the underground routes. I wonder how much I'll get for this one. And Lupin's like, yep, I'm not getting involved in anything related to Britain anymore. So there you go. So I do wonder why the Sultan introduced James Moriarty. Maybe we'll see him later, but it seems like Lupin's whole thing with Britain is over here. As he says, I'm not getting involved with Britain anymore. So I do wonder when we'll get to see, like, like Moriarty and Holmes again. Like, why did they suddenly introduce Moriarty? It must be there must be some reason why they did it. We'll see in the future, hopefully. But that's crazy. James Moriarty is here. Good God. Oh, so yeah, there you go. And that was the end of this arc. I'm guessing from next episode onwards, I'm guessing either we'll start a new arc or we'll have like some fill-in episodes, like fill-in episodes in the middle, and then we'll start another new arc or something like that. But let's wait and see. So that is it, guys. It was a good conclusion. I liked this conclusion. This was entertaining. Like this conclusion was very interesting. Like I knew it was less straight, and I'm glad that I was correct. So that is it. Thanks for watching. If this was my reaction to episode number 12 of Lupin the Third Part 6. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Lupin the Third. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.